Happy Fiverr Friday, Fiverr sellers. In this video, let's talk about your samples. I'm Susan Fouche. I'm a top-rated Fiverr seller, and I've been a Fiverr seller since early 2020. And in 24 months, I completely surprised myself by earning six figures on Fiverr. You heard that correctly, $100,000 on Fiverr within 24 months as a freelancer. I didn't even mean to do it. It just happened. So if you follow my advice and techniques, this video and this series of videos will help you reach your first six figures on Fiverr too. I release new Fiverr videos every single Friday, so be sure to subscribe for new content every single week. And I throw in a smattering of other stuff here and there as well to help you. This video is for any Fiverr seller, no matter what you sell, no matter what service you sell. The services that I sell on Fiverr are, if you haven't figured it out already, voiceover recordings. But my 6 steps to six figures on Fiverr applies to all Fiverr sellers. And I'll cover the 6 steps in depth just a little bit later in the video. But for now, let's talk about your samples. So in my videos, I always pick other Fiverr sellers who I think are just doing a great job of kind of like, showing evidence of the things that I teach about how to make the 6 figures. And one of the things about Fiverr as a Fiverr seller is you need to have evidence that you can produce the work that you're saying that you can produce. So for me, for example, I'm a voice actor, so all of my samples are my voiceover recordings, videos, put together, fully produced videos, or just audio recordings with music and me talking, or just me talking by myself. But you've got to have some evidence. And I know when you first get started on Fiverr, you're kind of like, well, what do I do? Well, before you even get started on Fiverr, go ahead and get your samples ready to go. So I picked for my first person to kind of like look at this Fiverr seller, who I think is doing a great job, by the way, Folly, who is a level 2 seller, not even a top-rated seller, but just, level 2, working his way up. So I did a search for SEO. I actually did a search for blog writing. And then Fiverr kind of gave me these little, suggestions like SEO optimized blog posts. So I clicked on it. And this is the person who I would choose to write my blog posts if I needed that service done. And I want to show you why. So first off, his thumbnail is awesome. Like, it's so clear. I know exactly what he does. And then as I kind of click through and see what else he can do, I can see, okay, here's some more information about what he does. I always say, have different thumbnails. You get the chance to have 3 different thumbnails, have different thumbnails. Don't have them all be the same thing. Have them say different information. So as I go through it, here is his PDF. And the PDF gives an example of a really good blog post that he wrote. And let's go ahead and click on it and see what it is. So I can scroll down and I can read through it, and I'm going, wow, this is like pretty good, legendary marketer. Okay, this is not what I would need a blog post written about, but I think like I get it. This person is talented and takes his time and is thorough. I'm going to go to the next sample because remember, you can have 2 PDFs. So your PDFs can contain like more information about what you do, but they can also contain samples of the, finished product as well. And so here's another review, another blog post. And again, it's really, really great. Interesting. He just did a great job. So when I go back and I look at his reviews, they're all really great reviews. More examples of what he's done. Now, let's say though, as a Fiverr seller for you, if you're brand new and you don't even have any reviews yet, that is totally okay. Set your price low. And just go ahead and put in your PDFs. If you are a blog post writer, samples of your blog posts. I can also scroll down and read more about, what this seller does, Saif does, his areas of expertise to see if it's a match for me. And I would say, honestly, for $5, a 300-word review article, I would totally purchase this from Saif. So anyway, great job, Saif. I think this is a great example. Let's go ahead and look at somebody else. Let's say that on Fiverr, I was looking for somebody to design a brochure for me. So I did a search for design brochure. That was my search. And it came up with a whole bunch of them. This is what this is the one that I chose. And again, another level 2 seller. So, I'm not just going to highlight all the top rated sellers. There's a lot of great level 1, level 2 sellers in here who do a great job. They're on their way to their first 6 figures. So here is RKB Designs samples of his brochures, and it just looks great. Here's, I kind of like go, actually, let me go to the beginning. Here's his first one. This looks really good. It's really eye-catching. Sorry, actually, here's the thumbnail. So it's really eye-catching. I can see what he does. Here's some samples. And then we get into reviews by the customer. So even though RKB only has 2 samples, I can see that, okay, this looks really good. Now, as I scroll down and I look at his About section, he has got a portfolio. So this is a really great idea to do. Put a link in your About section that has a link to your portfolio, if it's your website, if it's whatever. And let's look at this portfolio. And it's a Flickr account. So it's not even, a website. It's a Flickr account. This is great. And I can see what his name is, which kind of gives me like a connection to him. And he's just got all these different samples of what he can do, front and back. These look great. So if you make brochures, check out what this guy is doing. And I think, you'll be as successful as he is. The price is right. I mean, I would completely purchase this guy. I mean, just for the fact that he's really spent the time to make this portfolio, which looks so good. And I can kind of poke around here and look at albums and faves and galleries and groups. And I can see, this guy's going to do a great job for me, I believe. So I would completely hire MD Mahmoud Hassan Rakib, sorry. Totally messed up your name, but you can try to say my name too. See if you can figure it out. All right, let's look at another Fiverr seller who I think does a really great job with their samples. And that is, let's say that I needed to get a clickable email signature for myself. I was moving on up in the world and I needed a nice professional email signature. Where do I go? I go to Fiverr because I can get something for $5. And I chose this person, Signature Gmail. This person is a level 1 seller. And again, like I said, I'm not just going to pick top-rated sellers to showcase to you what is good work, what's good examples of samples. You can be level 1 seller. You can be level 2. I started out, like everybody else, worked my way up to top rated. We all have to do that. But the idea is that how do you get to the top rated seller? How do you get to the 6 figures? And it's by having examples of the work that you can produce. So for email signatures, here are some samples. And I would just say yeah, this is pretty much what I'm looking for. I just want my picture and maybe information about me. And I want to be able to click on the little hyperlinks, within this email signature. So this looks really good. And they deliver within 2 to 12 hours. That's pretty amazing. Here's some more examples. And so I can tell I just choose which one I want. 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. this is brilliant. They're totally utilizing their thumbnails. This looks so good. I mean, I already have an email signature, but if I didn't, I would totally go to Signature Gmail for this work. And as I move on, I see here's another example. This look great. And as we go on, here's samples of what they've done for a customer. So awesome work. I mean, this you have me right there. I'm looking at, the about. Looks like everything is, what I need, and I would go ahead and purchase from this person right here. So let's take a look now at the 6 steps for 6 figures, and let me just quickly go over those so you know what these 6 steps are. So my 6 steps to 6 figures on Fiverr are there's just six steps. Number 1, you need 3 of your best samples to showcase your work. If that's you're showcasing in your thumbnail, if you're showcasing them in your PDF, if you're like me and you can actually have a portfolio, of audio and video and things like that, or if you need to go ahead and redirect the buyer to another place like a SoundCloud account or a Flickr account or some other, portfolio type of place that shows your 3 best samples. And 3 is the minimum. You definitely want more, but if all you have is 3, then just put your 3 up and then kind of just get your traction there. And as you get more work, you're going to have more samples. So that's number one step. Number 2 step is you need to have a really good thumbnail and a really good photo. And I've got tons of videos about that as well. The thumbnail needs to contain a combination of text and images, or images that tell a story, that don't need text, but a thumbnail that definitely tells a story. Number 3, you need a really good description and you need really great keywords. And I cover that in other videos. Number 4, you also need to go ahead and fill out your PDFs. In Fiverr, you get a chance to have 3 different thumbnails and 2 different PDFs. Fill out all those boxes so that your buyers know exactly what they need to know and that they're really enticed to purchase from you. Number 5, this is for when you first get started on Fiverr. You want to hit the buyer requests, which just basically every single day, people contact Fiverr and say, hey, I have a request, I'm a buyer, I need this. Just look at those and see if you can go ahead and convert any of those buyer requests into work. I did that when I first started. I don't even think about it anymore. I haven't done them in years, but I know I did that when I first started and it worked. And step number 6 is you need to regularly update your gig and you need to add more gigs. Regular updates means like researching different keywords, looking at the competition, seeing what they're doing, and just, trying to keep the best stronghold on getting new buyers, and of course, keeping the buyers that you already have. There's a red circle that surrounds all of these, and this is just an all-encompassing, while you're getting started on Fiverr, while you're gaining momentum, as you've reached, your 6 figures or even your 7 figures or however much money you've made on Fiverr, you still need to continue with accountability and education. Accountability, there is just so many different professional groups out there. Join them, figure out what they're doing. There's even like Fiverr groups specific to your industry on Fiverr. Check those out. They're just chock full of great information. And of course, you want to, continue your education so you can offer your clients more services, better services, and just continue to keep them happy. And then, of course, there's the green circle that encompasses everything, and that is stellar service. You're not going to gain any traction on Fiverr. You're not going to get any repeat clients on Fiverr if you have crappy service. Stellar service just means on-time delivery, give them a little bit more than what they thought they were going to get. Yes, I know Fiverr is cheap, but here's the thing about Fiverr. You get work, and when you first start, it's cheap. When you get going, it's not cheap anymore. The prices that I have on Fiverr are on par with my industry standards. So I'm not undercutting anybody on Fiverr. My prices are exactly how they should be. So you can't get to that without having stellar service, just continual customer service. And I've got a ton of videos on that as well. So these 6 steps ought to get you to where you want to be on Fiverr. And of course, you've got to have to begin with a really great product. So work on the product, work on these steps, and I am sure you're going to get to where you want to go on Fiverr. Best of luck to you, to your success. Be sure and subscribe for more content. Thanks for watching. Hang in there. I'll see you next week. Bye.